Tomato spinach soup. This is a lovely tomato-based soup that incorporates a lot of leafy greens in the form of spinach to add extra nutrition. Let's take a close-up of our ingredients. In our pan we have our tomatoes. You can either use pureed tomatoes or diced tomatoes with the liquid still in the cans. Today we're going to use pureed. To that we're going to add 1 cup of barley and 1 onion. We're going to put this on the stove, bring it to a boil, and then turn it down, let it simmer for 30 to 40 minutes until the barley is tender. Once the barley is tender, then we're going to add to it spinach, mushrooms, some Kalamata olive, they add a distinctive, wonderful flavor, and some maple syrup for a sweetener to take a little bit of acidity off the tomatoes. Those are the ingredients for our soup. Let's move this over to the stove. Let's go ahead and get everything stirred in so our barley can cook in this wonderful, wonderful tomato mixture. As we stir this in, I just want to remind you this barley is going to take 30 to 40 minutes to become tender. Once it's tender, we add the rest of the ingredients and only cook it for about 5 more minutes. Our tomato barley soup is ready to add the spinach, the mushrooms, the Kalamata olives, and the maple syrup. We'll start with our mushrooms. Our Kalamata olives. Now you don't want to overboard on the Kalamata olives. They have a very strong flavor, and too many will overwhelm your soup. There's a little bit of sweetener, and let's go ahead and stir in our spinach. This spinach is going to wilt from the heat of the soup, and we'll be able to put quite a bit of it into our soup. You can see that the barley is cooked and tender. We'll go ahead and stir this in and put the lid on it and just let it sit and steam for a couple more minutes. This soup has a very thick consistency, so if you want a thinner, brothier soup, you can go ahead and add more tomatoes, some tomato juice, or some diced tomatoes with liquid in the can to thin it down a little bit. If you like it thick, this is a thick, hearty soup. This is such a lovely soup. You need to know that you can substitute fresh tomatoes for the canned tomatoes at any point or as much as you would like, any combination of the two. The recipe for this soup is found on page 170 of Original Fast Foods. Tomato, barley, spinach soup.